The boy in front of me is incredibly eerie. He's unpredictable, talking to himself. One moment he's crying, the next he's laughing. He keeps making strange sounds with his mouth. It turns out this child was adopted. His physical features are those of an ordinary person. In just a few days, he transformed into a teenager. Every morning, he sneaks into the couple's room. He just stares at them, unblinking. What's even stranger is that whenever he's hungry, he makes constant strange noises. He even shows signs of aggression. Only after his every demand is met does the boy return to normal. The couple had no choice but to endure it all, because they couldn't leave this room. It all started a few days ago, when the young couple came to the real estate office to buy their first home. The agent greeted them warmly. After briefly understanding their needs, they were taken to the suburbs to see some properties. The streets here were sparse, with few people around. The houses were neatly planned and clean. It felt like they had been copied from a blueprint. There was an indescribable feeling about it. The rooms were simply and comfortably decorated. All the appliances were complete and well-matched. It was the perfect, cutesy little home they had dreamed of. They spent a long time looking around before realizing the agent was no longer there. The couple noticed something was wrong and decided to leave. But no matter which way they went, they couldn't seem to exit the neighborhood. Eventually, they found themselves back at the house they had been viewing. By then, their phones had lost signal. It wasn't until their car ran out of gas. Finally, the couple returned to the same room. They had a simple meal, but found the food tasteless. The next morning, Jack climbed onto the roof to check the outside situation. All he saw were identical rooftops. He decided they should follow the direction of the sun, so they climbed over a fence and walked toward the sun. But by the time the sun set, they still hadn't managed to leave. Then they saw a room with lights on. They were both excited, but when they entered the room, they found it was the same room. No, outside the door, there was a box. Inside, they found various supplies for their life. Jack set the house on fire, hoping to attract attention, but the next day, incredibly, the house had returned to its original state. A cardboard box appeared outside again, and inside was the child. A note said, "Raise the child to adulthood, and you will be free." So, for their freedom, the couple became temporary parents. Strangely, the boy grew into a teenager in just a few days. They continued to live this way, day after day. After meals, they would simply throw the trash into the box outside their door, and fresh food would be delivered to them. This time, they decided to find out who was delivering the food, so they waited by the door. Jack took out something wrapped in paper, preparing to taste it. As soon as he threw the food on the ground, a circle of grass was instantly burned. This caught his attention. He picked up an axe and started digging. The ground was unusually soft. He quickly used his hands to dig, and the earth was like clay. He could easily grab a handful. So, they took out a shovel and kept digging. If they couldn't get out through the surface, they would try underground. Suddenly, Jenny noticed that the box outside the door had mysteriously disappeared. She asked the boy if he had seen who took it. The boy just shook his head. Jack no longer cared about anything else. He kept digging his hole. Jenny felt helpless. Life continued this way. Jack would dig after meals. Jenny did the housework and took care of the child. They could only occasionally hide in the car, enjoying a little peaceful time together. At this point, they noticed the car still had power, so they played some soothing music to relax. Soon, the boy's behavior became more and more strange. In the mornings, he would scream at them. At midnight, he would watch TV in the living room. During meals, he was picky about everything. Jack couldn't take it anymore. He dragged the boy and locked him in the car. After all this time together, Jenny couldn't bear it. She snatched the car keys from Jack and let the boy out. From then on, their relationship began to change. Jack focused entirely on digging the hole and even slept underground. Jenny, on the other hand, would sleep with the boy every night. One day, while playing a game with the boy, his actions suddenly terrified Jenny.